All right, welcome back to RADBMX Builds, and I'm with Justin in the BMX basement, and we have another video for you. We're going to be talking about reissue, repop, vintage, heritage. I don't know. There's so many terms and so much thrown out there. Which is which? I have no idea. I've been doing this for a while. Justin's been doing it for a while. Haro calls things vintage. GT calls them heritage. I've heard so many terms like reissue, repop, whatever the case. We're going to give you a video this time about this versus that with newer reproduction, reissue of some iconic BMX bikes. Justin, what two bikes are we going to show them today?
So we have a vintage line, as it's called by Haro, 87. It's a Haro Sport team.
But what year is it really?
So it's a 2017 reissued.
So is it an anniversary? If it was an 87, looks like a 2017, like a 40-year anniversary bike? Probably not an anniversary.
No, quite.
I think they missed the boat on that one.
Maybe it's coming. Maybe they're going to do it.
So you can see our dilemma here. What's the other bike?
Is Redline by Kasten. It's a copy of an 86 Redline RL22.
So these are new versions of an 86 and an 87, iconic freestyle bikes of their era, but they were remade. I guess you can't dispute that word. Remade to replicate what they looked like then. So we're going to do a this versus that. Which one would you pick and why? Did you know anybody that had bikes like these? Let us know down below in the comments. Let's check them out. Okay, so up first is Your Pride and Joy. This is a new 2022-ish Redline RL20, which would have been designed after the 1986 Redline, which honestly, I didn't know anyone that had one. Did you?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, if any of you knew someone that actually had one of these, they were rich or spoiled or both, but man, what a gorgeous bike. So we're going to compare that one to this one, which was designed after a 1987, and it is a, what year? 2017?
So 2017.
2017 vintage. So a Haro Sport with the fold-down fork pegs, and this is what's really cool. They even kept the frame standers on there, which went away when John Bolton started helping out Haro and made them pretty much new school bikes with old school decals. So when you make a vintage or retro line bike, you should actually make them look like they did back in the day. Just my 2 cents. I don't like that they just make modern freestyle bikes and call them a vintage or retro bike when the only thing that's the same is the decals. So these are true reissue bikes from back in the day that you can build or buy. You know, if you never had that bike and you don't want to pay, $10,000 on eBay to get one, they're still available. You can still find them out there at a much more affordable price. I wouldn't say cheap. All right, let's start off by seeing what these bikes have in common. And let's start off with handlebars. So you have a low crossbar on the Redline and a low crossbar on the Haro. You have fork standers incorporated onto the forks on the Haro, same with on the Redline. And they both have a twin top tube style frame, so you can stand on it when you perform your tricks. This one's only, a quarter or half of that top tube, so a little bit different. Laid back seat post, which was preferred, not just bigger riders, but to get that seat out of the way of the handlebar. I was talking to Eddie Fiola once, and he said he would try to put his grip and his seat to where he can grab them both with one hand. So his seat was always the same height as the grip and would try to get the nose of that seat right up to almost touching the grip. And you can do that by sliding the seat rails forward. But that was a preference from him. So it depended on that top tube length, whether they would run a layback or a straight seat post. You'll see another similarity is the rear chainstay, and it has a platform on the Haro Sport, just like Redline did. It flares out. Several bikes did this, Schwinn, and there's a bunch of them like the Trick Stars all kind of did that. So it was incorporated into the chainstay or the rear part of the frame versus having to use a platform like you would have on a GT. Okay, those were a few of the similarities. Let's talk about differences in these bikes. So you'll notice right away, this one has a Odyssey gyro. Some people call it a detangler. There's all kinds of weird names for it, but this is a gyro on this one. And that was an 87 version bike, and this is an 86 version bike, where this one only has a POTS mod bolt that runs that front brake cable down through the head tube, out through the fork, and up under into the front brake. You'll notice even GT did that back in 85, 86 before they went to gyros also. All right, something else both bikes share that not necessarily was on both bikes then are these wheels. So these have a mag wheel on them where you could have run either or, could have been spokes, could have been mags, could have been skyways, could have been the Peregrine, what is it? Peregrine, that's how I say it too, but I've heard it both ways. Call it whatever you want, I don't care. It could be skyways like these back there. You could have run either a mag wheel or a spoked wheel. It's a preference. You know, there are tricks where I've seen riders put their foot in there, but it really was a preference because there are a lot of other freestyle bikes that ran a spoke wheel. Okay, another difference is the rear brake. The Redline has a side pull brake, whereas the Haro Sport's got the 990 mount down there on the chainstay area. So another change between the two bikes, a little something different. So these bikes are not the same in many ways, but are the same in other ways. Okay, you walk into a bike shop. It's the middle of the 1980s. Which one are you taking and why? Is it the color? Is it the parts? Is it the name? Is it a rider that rode for that team or model? Why would you pick one over the other? Let me know down below. Both of these are superb examples of what was and what can be current freestyle bikes. I think it's a great representation of what they looked like back then, but they're modern, they're new, and very, very rideable, where you might not want to take a 40-year-old bike out because you're worried about breaking parts on some of those bikes. These might be a little too beautiful to go race around town on, do tricks, do this, drop it on the sidewalk, lay it down, and go into the arcade, but man, they're nice. And if you were to have one, just one, which one are you picking? And tell me why, because I'm going to tell Justin what you put in the comments, why you chose his Redline or his Haro. You might have a personal connection to one of these, and I want to know. I never owned a Haro, and I never owned an RL20. I did have a Redline, but it was a race bike. For me, I think I would pick the... All right, yes, Lola came with me. So which one does Lola like? Tell him which one. Oh, you do? Well, that's interesting. I don't know if I would have picked that one. All right, Justin, I have a favorite. Do you have a favorite between the two?
I do, for sure.
And without telling us what it is it about that bike that's your favorite over the other?
Color.
Oh, that's going to give it away.
Color, design, it's just such a great classic collection of welds and design that were specific to that bike. So
okay.
That's what gets
So it's definitely the Haro.
It may be not.
It's probably the Redline, and for me, the same thing. It's the color of the bike, and honestly, it's the graphics too. That's my favorite Redline graphic ever. And I've had a Redline with that graphic, and it's amazing. Haro, that's sick. The color is great. The balance is great. But man, that color. Make sure you comment down below which one you pick and why. And let Justin know what you think of his collection. You know what? Go over to his Instagram at BMX Basement and follow him because dude has a lot of bikes and bike stuff. He makes great content, so go check him out. Thanks again for watching, Justin. Thank you again for letting us waste your day away by hanging out with you here in your shop. You got some great stuff.
Thank you very much.
All right, we'll see you guys next time. And as always,
stay rad.